Hello and welcome. The lighting is going to be slightly worse than it normally is. Yeah. My camera adjusts itself automatically. I need to get it to like adjust so that it like focuses a little bit better. Like it almost does better if I like hide the light. But anyway, I've got my window completely open. It's very, very warm for us here. It got up to 77 Fahrenheit, which after like 8 months of like -20, very welcome, but our bodies are just like, oh my god, this is too much. So we're a little warm. Anywho, I really wanted to show this off first and foremost. I did some shiny hunting during the week, and I finally got a shiny 3-segment Dunsparce, and it's marked. So this is a very, very, very good Dunsparce. I kind of want to recreate that team that I went up against last week, where it was a Mousehold that did a beat up into a rattled Dunsparce, and then that Dunsparce had a weakness policy, tear it into Psychic, and then just unleashed unholy stored power attacks, and it was just ugly. And I kind of want to redo that because it was just an ugly combo. But anyway, I'll get to that eventually. I've been hunting Tandem Mouse for like the last 2 days, and I have found all of one shiny Tandem Mouse, and of course it wasn't family of 3, so what do you do? The Tandem Mouse hunt is truly awful because you can't really tell visually if it's shiny. You kind of just have to do the let's go method and just like hunt and peck for the shiny, and it's awful. And actually, when I was doing it, I found this. If you look on the side over here, that is absolutely a shiny Yungoos trapped inside the wall, like deep inside that wall, completely inaccessible. So God only knows how many shiny Tandem Mouses I have spawned inside this wall. But yeah, you can definitely tell that is a shiny Yungoos way over there in the corner. Actually, will it let me zoom in? I don't think it will. I think I have to use the touch screen to zoom in, but yeah. 3-segment Dunsparce. I am super, super, super happy about that. That was a fun hunt. I might redo that hunt. It actually, I took a picture of every shiny Dunsparce that I came across. So it was the 1, 11, 16, 20. It was the 20th Dunsparce. So, lucky number 20. I think this is one where I accidentally murdered a shiny. Skip ahead just a hot second here. I'm just going to check. Of course, nothing shiny here, so I'm going to go back. And I kind of do this thing where I go back a little bit slowly, so as they spawn back in, I can go back and get them. But I totally whiffed it right there. If you watch, it absolutely spawned in, and I missed it. Right there. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show off a little bit. So what we are doing tonight is we are going to do 2 teams that I kind of mashed together using kind of bits and pieces of teams that we've used in the past. The first team, I kind of call it ThiccSun. Because the Pokemon on this team generally are fairly sturdy, except for the Chien-Pao and Fluttermane. They are completely invested in speed and damage. But our Ceruledge is fairly tanky. And this is one of the older Ceruledges that I used. And it is bulk up, so it does need a little bit of time and a little bit of support, so I'm hoping that doesn't really slow it down and really hamper it. I also have a Brute Bonnet here that is naturally kind of tanky, but I really didn't invest in much bulk on him. He is holding the loaded dice, and he was actually one of the few that loaded dice users that I used that actually did like an appreciable amount of damage. So that's kind of why he's here. And then we've got Gothitelle for support to support the kind of the 3.5 primary attackers, and then of course a Murkrow to help set up Sun, help set up Wind, Haze, kind of a self-explanatory setup for Murkrow here. But I've got everything Pokepasted in the description, so if you're curious what I'm running, that's what I'm running. Second team that we've got is just super duper hyper bulk and stall. I kind of wanted to see how I would do with that. I did run kind of a stall team a little while ago. It wasn't the greatest because I just really didn't have good damage output, and I'm kind of hoping with the inclusion of Iron Hands and Glimmora here that I might have the damage output to make stall kind of worth it. And then I also put our most recent Screamtail on the team just to kind of really support the team. I've got Howl on it to support my attackers, and then I also have Parasong to just kind of really make my opponent sweat and force switches if I have to. But that's kind of the team. This one, the Terra types aren't really the greatest, and it's not that I didn't have time or I neglected it. I just really couldn't figure out anything better than what they already had, so I just kind of kept it as it was. One thing I did run on my Glimmora that I don't see almost anybody run is Spiky Shield, and it operates the same as Protect, but it does damage if you get hit with a physical move, so I figured why not run that over Protect. Like when I was doing research for this team and looking at people who run Glimmora, they run Protect instead of Spiky Shield, and I couldn't figure out a good reason why you would want to run Protect over Spiky Shield. Spiky Shield just seems to be the better option just because of the damage potential it could do, and it does the same job. So I decided to go with Spiky Shield on Glimmora here. But anyway, let's get to the battles. We are going to use our ThiccSun team first. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work. I am kind of hesitant on that team. Not super confident in it just because I'm worried about damage output. But we'll see how it goes. When I used this Ceruledge a while back, I believe this specific one had Indeedee support. So it could, the Indeedee could just, follow me, and Ceruledge could just bulk up. But Rapska on the enemy team, along with a Passimian, Gallade, Vaporeon, the Dusk form Lycanroc, and a Flamigo. So kind of an interesting team. I'm not quite sure what to expect. Gallades have always been kind of just a wild card on what they're going to do, and they usually have some sort of surprise. But I wonder if somebody isn't running like something really twisted and weird for Flamigo to come in and co-star the stat changes off of them. So that'll be interesting to see. Not super sure what he's going to want to bring. I wonder if he's going to want to bring Rapska just to run some Revival Blessing shenanigans. So he's probably going to bring that in the back, I would imagine. And his primary attackers are probably going to be Gallade, Lycanroc, and possibly Flamigo. But yeah, not quite sure what to expect from this team. So I am... I don't want to play defensive. I kind of want to play offensive. So I'm going to go in with Fluttermane. There we go. Go in with these guys. See how that works. Little bit of bulk in there, just so I can pivot if I have to. And I really wanted to also bring Brute Bonnet just to break any sashes in case anybody has one. I'm really not looking forward to Rabsca reviving anyone and having to knock out, 4.5 Pokemon rather than just regular 4. God, that's such a big shiny. I do have a Rabsca, but I really wanted to build one with Cosmic Power. It can't actually have Cosmic Power until we get Pokemon Home compatibility, because it actually has to get Cosmic Power from the Poison Legendary from last generation. I can't remember its name off the top of my head. But I'm going to go ahead and Tailwind here. Just set up the offense here. Okay, Passimian goes down in one hit. Rabsca goes for a Trick Room. Wasn't really expecting that, to be honest. His team's not, particularly slow, so I don't know what big benefit he gets from this. But I am going to swap out Fluttermane to Brute Bonnet, since Brute Bonnet's a little bit slower. And we are going to go for a Sunny Day to power up Brute Bonnet. Brute Bonnet should do okay. I don't think he's going to target a fighting move into Fluttermane. Okay. Brute Bonnet looking mean. Okay. We absorb 2 psychic attacks. Awesome. Alright. So we are going to go for... can he do anything? I don't think he can do really anything to me for now. Yeah, I'm going to Terra here, and we're going to Bullet Seed into Gallade. And we are going to swap Murkrow out into Gothitelle. Murkrow did his thing. He's kind of good. I want to get Gothitelle out on the field so that she can offer some heal support for my other slot. And I'm going Terra here just because I really want to avoid taking a super effective, close combat from Gallade. I don't think he'd go that direction, but he absolutely could, and it would really, really hurt on it. But he actually went for a Bug Buzz, which if we had not Terra'd, that would have done probably just KO'd Bonnet. But they are very, very, very slow. Well, then again, we also have Tailwind on my side, just kind of doing the opposite of what I want it to do, thanks to Trick Room. Vaporeon comes out. We're likely going to lose Brute Bonnet here. I am going to go for a Sucker Punch onto Rabsca, though, and we are going to go for a Fake Out onto Vaporeon. Rabsca does go down. Good. Okay, Vaporeon has leftovers. I'm not quite sure what he wanted to do with his team. It just kind of seemed a little messy. Yeah, I don't know what the main idea here was. Okay, and the battle's canceled. Okay, well, we're off to a good start. We basically kind of steamrolled that. We started momentum really hard, really fast, and did not let him capitalize on that trick room. I do think it was a really good call, though, to Terra there. I really wasn't expecting a bug move coming out of Rabska. Then again, I wasn't expecting a Rabska at all. But had we not Terra, that would have absolutely one-hit KO'd Brute Bonnet. It would have been quad effective. But the amount of damage that Bullet Seed did was kind of nutty. We two-shot with Bullet Seed that Gallade. So, nutty. I have seen other Sun strategies too, using, of course, Murkrow for the Sun Setter. That you want to put growth on Wo-Chien and kind of turn it to a damage dealing monster. And I kind of tried to cobble a team together once upon a time to get that to work, but it didn't really work in my head. And it was one of the few times that I actually ran damage calculators, and I would have to like stack like 2 growths in sunlight for Wo-Chien to like really be effective against really like especially bulky Pokemon like Fluttermane. So I was just like, man, this almost isn't worth it. But anyway, so actually we might actually see a Sun Grochien team here. We've got Glamora, Talonflame, Gyarados, Fluttermane, Wo-Chien, and Garchomp. They have a good, healthy amount of support. They have a good, healthy amount of damage. A very well-balanced team. I am a little worried about the Glamora doing a crap ton of chip damage, though. So I think we are going to do kind of the same thing. We are going to go in fast and hard. So let's bring... I don't want to bring Chien-Pao. Our Ceruledge is got a clear amulet, so the Intimidate's not going to bother us too awful much. Gonna bring Brute Bonnet, and since we are kind of on the physical side of things, I am gonna bring Chien-Pao this time around. Just to make use of its aura that lowers defense. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Gyarados and Talonflame. Okay. So he's probably going to set up Tailwind. Gyarados maybe has Thunder Wave. Just thinking about the Thunder Wave, though, does make me want to switch out the Ceruledge. Because even though I've got a clear amulet, he's still vulnerable to statuses. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my own Tailwind. And then Ceruledge, I think we are going to bring back for Brute Bonnet. I'm a little less worried about Brute Bonnet getting paralyzed. And if he hits me with a water move, it shouldn't do too much damage to Brute Bonnet. Okay, Talonflame does Talonflame things. Next turn, he's probably going to go for a Brave Bird and just, do Brave Bird things. Okay, Gyarados went for a taunt. Okay, that's acceptable. Gonna go for a Sunny Day here since he can't really stop me. Kind of figured that taunt would have been on Murkrow and to shut down Murkrow faster, but it wasn't. We're gonna go hyper offensive. We're gonna go for a Bullet Seed into Gyarados and try and get it off the field. I really, really, really don't want to take a Thunder Wave if I can help it. And he protects. God damn it. So we're probably going to see a Brave Bird from... Oh, okay, maybe not a Brave Bird, because that would have been priority. So, oh, a Will-O-Wisp, okay. I guess I probably should have seen that coming. It's completely not unheard of for Talonflame to run it. But even with that attack drop, we should still do some pretty gnarly damage with Brute Bonnet. I am... I don't really want to swap out quite yet. So we are just gonna put some damage on... Well, I'm gonna put some damage on Talonflame to get rid of its ability to have priority. This might not decide. Oh, it didn't. Okay. That's surprising. Okay, Gyarados goes for the taunt. That's kind of fine. At this point, Murkrow is just only in there because I don't really have a good safe switch. Not a whole lot of damage on Gyarados. So that burn doesn't matter. So we're on hit 3, hit 4, and hit 4. Okay. Well, that's fine. Brute Bonnet, you were trying. Okay, we shook off the taunt. Just gonna go in for Talonflame, I guess. Bonnet's probably not gonna do a whole lot here, so let's go for Sucker Punch into Talonflame and just get rid of Talonflame. It might actually get rid of itself, honestly. This might take itself out. Okay, we still had to put a little bit of extra damage on it, but that's okay. We still have the ability to set up Tailwind. They do not. Waterfall comes out. Tailwind petered out. I'm going to go in for Ceruledge and we're going to Terra. Oh my god. Somebody's car alarm is going off and my window is wide open. I hate that. So I do apologize for the horrific noise. Of course we're going to... Oh, that's right, we're taunted. I hate that. Well... Now we gotta kinda... God damn it. I don't have a good switch in. We're gonna go for Foul Play on Gyarados. And we are gonna Terra, and... we are going to... I think I'm kinda safe to do a Bulk Up here. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for a Bulk Up. My god, turn off your car alarm. My guy. Thank you. Fluttermane goes for Protect. That's actually kind of a great scenario for... Oh my god, again. Okay, Gyarados was buried. Wave comes out. Nah, it's not great. At least we get the bulk up off. I guess that's kind of good for us. Am I still taunted? I'm still taunted. Okay. We're gonna go for another Foul Play into Gyarados, and we're going to Shadow Sneak onto Fluttermane. Hopefully we don't get fully paralyzed. Fluttermane's probably going to Terra Fairy here, so not going to get super effective damage, but that's fine. Fluttermane is not very physically defensive, so this still should do a very healthy amount of damage. And we get paralyzed. God damn it. Okay, Hex comes out. Interesting. Ooh. We get a crit. That crit might have mattered. Kind of maybe see that Gyarados living with just a sliver, and that would have been for us. Okay, Fluttermane loses photosynthesis. That's totally fine. Oh, it has booster energy anyway, so it didn't matter. Murkrow finally shakes off the taunt. I am going to set up Tailwind, even though right now it's not like the best thing for us. And Glamora in the back. That's weird. Sure, though, I guess. But I'm setting up Tailwind because I really want to get that speed advantage as quickly as possible. And we are actually... I kind of can't afford not to do a Bitter Blade and get my health back. So we're going to do that into Fluttermane here. Hopefully we still outspeed with a Tailwind and Paralysis kind of holding us back. Okay. Yeah. Power Gem comes out. That should do a very... Yeah. So, we don't win this one. Interesting, though, that he brought the Glamora in the back. Glamora really doesn't thrive late game. It's really an early game kind of thing. But he's making it work. So, I can't really be too mad at that. I'm actually just going to move on to the next game. But after the Gyarados had not used Thunder Wave, I kind of was thinking that maybe he wasn't carrying Thunder Wave, so I kind of stopped thinking about it, and then, yeah, as soon as we got Ceruledge in there, it just immediately ate a Thunder Wave to the face. Which really, 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 really screwed us. Not getting that damage on Fluttermane was... kind of a huge detriment to us. That Shadow Sneak, even though it would have been neutral damage, probably would have done at least over half. But in that instance, I as far as like a held item goes for Ceruledge, I would have been happier with a Lumberry than with, you know, just the one attack drop. Alright, Rain Team. So we've got Iron Hands, Amoonguss, Pelipper, Palafin, Bexcalibur, and Dragonite. Alrighty. Pelipper's going to set up Wind and Rain, I guarantee it. And we're probably going to see... Palafin Pelipper first, the P's. Maybe a Mungus in the back, but I don't think so. Everyone is kind of a damage threat except for Mungus and Pelipper, so I think he's probably going to do Pelipper, Palafin, Iron Hands, and maybe Dragonite. But time will see. Let's bring Murkrow, set up our own Wind. I'm going to bring in... I'm going to bring in Fluttermane, and I'm going to bring in these two in the back. So basically, all of our damage. I do want to keep Murkrow around as long as possible, just so I can reset that Rain if I have to. Not that, like, any of his team, like, super benefits from Rain, except for maybe Palafin to get some extra water damage. But nobody really has, like, Swift Swim or anything like that to really capitalize on Rain. But we see a Iron Hands coming out along with Palafin. So we're probably going to see a Fake Out onto Murkrow. Do I want to switch to avoid the Fake Out damage? I'm going to say yes. So we're going to switch Murkrow out, and we are going to... I'm going to keep Fluttermane Ghost for now. We're going to go for Dazzling Gleam. Okay. It's also interesting to me that basically the whole community has decided that Flip Turn is not great on Palafin, and they just are going to go for a swap instead. Which to me is just kind of odd. Well, I guess maybe not terribly odd. But Fluttermane goes down. Pretty sure Iron Hands is going to kill itself as well. But we are going to bring in Murkrow here. How did Iron Hands not kill itself with a Wild Charge? Whatever. I don't want to Terra here, I don't think. But I am going to go for a Bitter Blade onto Iron Hands. And we are going to go for a Tailwind. I'm really hoping that we have enough damage on Bitter Blade to take out Iron Hands. And we do not. And it was a crit on top of it. Hydro Pump comes out. That's... Wow. Okay, Pelipper is feeling a little manly. Okay, Wild Charge comes out. And the amount of damage that just did not do to Iron Hands, and then the amount of damage that it did do, that's a little nutty. Like, are you defensively invested or are you not? Weird. Whatever. We're just gonna try and knock out as much of his team as possible. Because we haven't got a single KO on this team. And it kind of sucks because he really didn't do anything like that I could not have foreseen coming. I just wasn't expecting Pelipper to do a shit ton of damage, and I was not expecting Iron Hands to live after taking that much damage and then Wild Charging into a full health Fluttermane and just living from that recoil damage. So that was kind of surprising. Iron Hands is really, really frustrating to go up against because it's really hard to predict whether it's going to be like hyper bulk or hyper offense. And the one thing that I kind of don't like about Iron Hands, like going against it at least, is that it really doesn't have to choose between the two. It can kind of do both and do both very well. But we're going to continue. We got an Iron Hands ourselves on our second team, so we'll see how well that goes. And I do apologize for the noise. Your results have been reflected. Hooray. We have a garbage win-loss streak, or win-loss rate, so who cares? Alright. So, very, very bulky team. Right off the bat. Maybe a stall team. He's probably going to set up screens and just kind of whittle me out, I think. But we're probably going to see at least Final Gambit Annihilate. Absolutely. So I wonder if we're going to see Annihilate and Grimmsnarl first. Snarl to set up screens, Annihilate to Kamikaze dive bomb us, and then probably Garganacl in the back, and kind of a toss-up on who he wants to bring after that. But we're going to bring up Murkrow. It could be Trick Room, too. I don't think Grimmsnarl gets Trick Room, though. Not 100% sure about that, though. But we're going to bring in Murkrow. I want to bring in Fluttermane right off the bat. And I'm going to bring in Ceruledge in the back. And we're going to bring in Shenpao. The reason why I want to bring Shenpao and Fluttermane kind of in the same bracket is that he's got a lot of physically defensive Pokemon, and I kind of need Shenpao to like knock that down a notch to kind of like infiltrate that big benefit that he has. So Toedsquirrel and Grimmsnarl. Okay. Other than Spore shenanigans, I'm not sure what to expect from Toedsquirrel. But we're going to set up Tailwind. He's probably going to set up... Does Haze get rid of screens? Yeah, I don't think it did. That's Defog. But we're just going to go for as much damage as humanly possible. Do I want to split my damage, or do I want to Focus Fire? I'm actually going to Focus Fire down the Grimmsnarl. Okay. We lose Tailwind. That's fine. Might see a Spore come out from Toedsquirrel. Toedsquirrel gets Trick Room. I did not know that. Good to know. Trick Room typically almost always has to go on a Psychic type. There are very, very few non-Psychic types that get access to Trick Room. I did not know that Toedsquirrel got access to Trick Room at all. So that is very interesting. One of the big reasons why I ran Aromatisse back in the day was that it was one of the few non-Psychic types that got Trick Room. I'm going to go ahead and set up Sunny Day here. And then we are going to swap out for... I'm going to keep Fluttermane in. Gonna keep Fluttermane in into Garganacl, and we're just going to go for a Moonblast. Garganacl goes Terra Rock. Okay. So maybe Hyper Offensive? Maybe like Rock Slide, or... Not super sure. Fluttermane might die here, though. Okay, Salt here. It's going to do a heavy amount of damage. Just because it's dead. Murkrow's absolutely dead this turn. That Salt Cure is just going to take it out. That is kind of an amazing amount of damage, though, just from one Salt Cure. I think Salt Cure's base attack is like 30. Okay, Fluttermane goes and takes a nap. Another interesting thing, too, is that Toedsquirrel's ability, Mycelium Might, basically gives it negative priority on status moves. Which is so bizarre to me. Kinda also why I'm not respecting it. And I probably should be. We are definitely going to Terra here, and we are going to go for a Bitterblade into Toedsquirrel. And we are just going to continue to Moonblast and hope that we get a Wake Up. I know the dot damage does extra damage, but does the initial damage of Salt Cure deal extra damage to Steel and Water types? Not 100% on that. Okay, Garganacl just does Garganacl things and does a recover, so that's okay. Okay, Toedsquirrel wasn't sashed. Interesting. I would imagine that with Mycelium Might having that negative priority condition on it, that you would maybe put a sash on it so you could at least get Spore off more efficiently. But yeah, interesting. Okay, and then Annihilate in the late game. Alright. Well, he can't Terra here, so we can go for a Shadow Sneak and really put the hurt on him. If nothing else, that would really reduce the amount of damage that Final Gambit will do. But we're still under Trick Room, so we're still kind of at a disadvantage, but at least with Shadow Sneak, we ignore Trick Room. So, Bulky Annihilate. Okay, Salt Cure comes out onto Fluttermane. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Okay, close combat. Wow, okay. Was not expecting Ceruledge to go down. We are fairly bulky. But it is close combat. I expected maybe more damage on the Annihilate to be, you know, if he's... oh, he woke up finally. Don't get the kill on Garganacl, though. That's not great for us. We should lose Trick Room here, though. If I counted correctly. Do we not? We still have one turn of Trick Room. We are going to go for a Sucker Punch into Annihilate, because Garganacl is likely just going to go for a Recover. Oh, he goes for a Protect. Okay. Annihilate goes down. And that Moonblast isn't going to do anything. I wonder, his team would... I think his team would work a lot better if he had Sand, because then that Garganacl would be truly terrifying with that special defense buff. But now we outspeed. Trick Room is gone, so we should have this. We should have this game. Yeah, a lot of unexpected bulk. But we kind of got lucky with a fairly early wake up. We didn't stay asleep for the full 3 turns. We stayed asleep for 2 turns. So that was good for us. And he really didn't have a good answer for Fluttermane, which is kind of weird because the meta really is super duper Fluttermane heavy. I think it's still #1 by a long shot as far as usage goes in VGC. And not having a good answer for it on your team is just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Kind of like not having a good answer for all of the Treasures of Ruin, even though they have really fallen off in the last few weeks. They've kind of fallen out of favor. They're still pretty common. 99% sure that Fluttermane is head and shoulders still #1 in usage. Yeah, by a huge margin. Fluttermane is 67.8% in usage, and then #2 is Amoonguss at 40. So huge margin. Alright, so Sun team on their team, I almost guarantee it. Fluttermane, King Gambit, Iron Bundle, Arcanine, Great Tusk, and Corviknight. Very bulky team too, and very good amount of speed control. I think what I want to do though... I don't want to give up the speed control, though. So we kind of have to bring Murkrow, but I'm probably not going to set up Sun, because his team really benefits from the Sun as well. But I'm going to lead with Chen Pao in the front this time, and we are going to bring Ceruledge in the back. And if we had more damage, if we weren't bringing Murkrow, I probably would bring Gothitelle. But I'm going to bring in Brood Bonnet. Just because Fluttermane is just kind of really just rocked by King Gambit. Like, King Gambit doesn't even have to set up like an Iron Head to really win. He could just really take out Fluttermane with a Sucker Punch. Alright. So I wonder if we're going to see maybe a Protect from Fluttermane first, and then maybe a Icy Wind from Iron Bundle. Even if that is the case, I'm going to go ahead and Tailwind here, and then probably Haze next turn. And we're going to go for a Sucker Punch onto, well, yeah, we're going to go for a Sucker Punch onto Fluttermane. I did consider for a moment going Terra here just to lose my Fairy weakness, but I don't think I really gain anything from that. At worst, we're just going to go down to Sash. But Icy Wind, yeah, we're probably going to lose Chien-Pao, to be honest. Because we're probably going to take a Moonblast or at least a Dazzling Gleam to the face. And Dazzling Gleam comes out, so we lose both. Crit on Murkrow. Super didn't matter. Murkrow's going to go down. That is kind of a bulky Fluttermane, though, to have survived a... to have survived a Sucker Punch from Chien-Pao. But we are definitely going to Terra here. At least we got Tailwind up. We're definitely not going to outspeed. But we're going to Sucker Punch onto Fluttermane, and then I should be free to bulk up here. You know what? I'm going to withhold my Terra for now, and we're actually going to Protect, because I want to see what Iron Bundle does. I'm kind of curious if he wants to do a Icy Wind or if he wants to do a Hydro Pump into Ceruledge. Okay, he goes for an Icy Wind. That's actually a really good amount of damage on Brood Bonnet, so we gotta worry about Iron Bundle. Okay, King Gambit comes out. Definitely going to Terra Steel here and go for a well, let's go for the good old Bullet Seed, and we're going to Bitter Blade into King Gambit. Since we're likely going to take a Dark type attack, I might have also been free to just set up a bulk up, but I don't want to waste any more time with Tailwind. Okay, he's also going to Terra. Probably the King Gambit. Hopefully still staying Steel. Flying. Alright. I actually run my own King Gambit flying, so that's not like completely shocking. Iron Bundle goes for a Protect. That's not great. He might go for a Terra Blast onto... Okay, he goes for a Sucker Punch. On the plus side, we do get some health back. But we do lose out on that super effective damage, which is unfortunate. I am kind of surprised, though, that he did not go for a Terra Blast. onto Brute Bonnet. Yeah, let's just go for the Bullet Seed. I'm going to take a risk. Let's go for the Bulk Up. Because he might actually do another... Well, he's not. You know, whatever. Okay. We get the Bullet Seed off. That's awesome for us. So 3 hits is all Iron Bundle needs. Cool. Probably should have done that a lot earlier, but what do you say? Low kick. Okay, we lost Tailwind. That's okay. Great Test comes out. I'm gonna go for a Sucker Punch onto Gambit here. And go for a Shadow Sneak. I'm pretty sure Tuska's just gonna Earthquake and just knock us both out. But it is what it is. I wonder... I don't think we're gonna outspeed. You know what? I'm just gonna take a risk. We're gonna do risky things. Yeah, Sucker Punch. Really hoping that he would do a Terra Blast instead of a Sucker Punch. Close combat. Yeah. Oh well. We let that Iron Bundle do way too much damage way too quickly, and we ignored it too long. So I should not have let it get that far. To be fair, his whole team was kind of a threat all the way around. Yes, let's continue. Probably going to be the last battle with this team. I'm not, like... super disappointed in this team. I actually am just thinking it needs a few tweaks. Chen Pao is definitely kind of an underperformer, and so is Gothitelle. We just really haven't found a good opportunity to bring it since it doesn't do much damage. So she might get swapped out. Chen Pao too, but Chen Pao's done some things. Gothitelle has done none things. So. But we are going to swap here after this battle to the other team. So we are against King Gambit, Amoonguss, Slowking, Goodra, Frostlass, and Chen Pao. So I'm going to start with the usual suspects. Actually, I'm going to start with Ceruledge. And we're going to bring Fluttermane in the back, along with... do I want Chen Pao? Do I really? He's really defensive. I'm going to bring Brute Bonnet at the back. Biggest reason why I want Brute Bonnet in the back over Chen Pao is if he does have that Amoonguss, I kind of want to be able to swap into something to eat a Spore, if I have to. Slowking and Masterball. So Slowking probably, and this is a big probably, well, not even a big probably, he absolutely is going to set up a Trick Room. So let's not play into that quite yet. Let's go ahead and set up a Sunny Day. And we are going to Terra here, and we are pretty safe to bulk up, I think. So that's what we are going to do. Let's go, my guy. Pick your moves. And to be honest, maybe now that I really think about it, Ceruledge really isn't doing super hot either. So maybe I just need to rethink this whole team. I think Brutebond is doing okay. Of course, Fluttermane does Fluttermane things, so Fluttermane does good regardless. But Brutebond is doing pretty okay. Okay, he goes Terra Dark. Interesting. You usually don't want to Terra into something that shares your weaknesses. So I wonder why he went Terra Dark. Maybe to boost up a... Oh, boost up Calto Cleave. I guess, sure. And Flamethrower out of Slow King. Sure. All right. Do I want to swap out Murkrow? Nah. If we're going to take another Flamethrower, that's not going to be great for us. Let's just go for a Foul Play onto Kingambit and get as much damage on it as possible. And I'm going to go for a Bitter Blade into Gambit, just to get some health back. Okay, well, he goes for a Protect, so we just completely wasted a turn. So, what is Slowking going to do? Probably... If this Slowking doesn't Trick Room, I'm just gonna scream. Okay, my god. Still gonna go for the Foul Play. Although now that Trick Room is in play, we might not survive another Calto Cleave. I'm just going to Protect here to kind of waste his Trick Rooms. His turns of Trick Room, I should say. Slowking his Flamethrower. That actually would have been beneficial to us since we have Flash Fire. Yeah. I actually would have been better off had I not protected that turn. Cool. Gonna set up Brute on it. We actually should underspeed Kingambit, unless that Kingambit is like hyper negative, like 0 IV speed and no investment in speed, which would be weird if he had any investment in speed, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and Spore that thing, and we are going to go for a Bitter Blade onto Gambit. Just to get some health back. Okay, he goes for a Flamethrower on the Bonnet. And we don't underspeed Bonnet, or Gambit. And Ceruledge goes down. So, whatever. At least we put it to sleep, I guess. Is the sun going to last long enough? I don't know. I think we lose the sun this turn. Okay. Well, not that it really helps because we get the speed boost in Trick Room. I'm gonna go for a Sucker Punch on a Slowking, and we are going to Moonblast directly into Gambit. Okay, he withdraws. And goes for a Mungus. Okay. Well, at least we didn't go for Dazzling Gleam. At least the Moonblast will do more damage than Game would have. But it doesn't matter. We're a 1v4 now, so yeah. I this team needs work. Like the things that do well, like Fluttermane and Brute Bonnet, of course they're gonna do well. But I really wanted Ceruledge to do better, and it really didn't. So that's disappointing. Maybe I do have two Ceruledges that have a little bit different EV spreads. So maybe I'll bring the other one. The other one is a little bit more offensively oriented. I kind of figured with bulk up support and support from the rest of the team that the Ceruledge would do really well, but it just isn't. So yeah, I think this team needs work. I don't totally hate the team. I think half of it is doing good, but the other half is definitely not. And the Gothitelle slot is kind of a dead slot. But we'll see how this team does. This team might actually frustrate me more than the first one, just because it is hyper defensive and very stally. So I'm hoping that I don't run into the same problem that I had with the last stall team that I ran, and that I had absolutely no damage, like no damage whatsoever. And in like more than one game with that team, it really came down to just Garganackle doing like a 1v4 or 1v3, just trying to do his best with Sulkier, and it just wasn't working. But kind of hoping that we do have an offense-oriented Tinglu. We do have Iron Hands, and we do have a kind of an offense-oriented Glamora. So I'm hoping that with those three, we should have enough damage, and with the residual damage and recovery that we have on Garganackle and Wo-Chien, that they'll be able to at least outlast things, where it won't matter how much damage we're doing. And then Screamtail is there to just do her best. Like, we've brought Screamtail before on other teams, and I've not been like super impressed with it. We did bring it on a Howl team a while back, and it did kind of okay. Like, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't impressed with it. So we'll see how it goes. It might actually go into the same bucket with Iron or Great Tusk and just the bucket of disappointment. But who knows? Actually, the only other Pokemon other than Great Tusk that is in the bucket of disappointment over like the years of Pokemon stuff that I've been doing is actually Mega Heracross. Mega Heracross was such a huge disappointment for me that I used it for like, I don't know, a week or two in VGC back in the day, and it would just get one shot or just never work. No matter how I supported it, it just would never work. And I was just like, you know what? Trash. Total trash. But whatever. Anyway, it is the top of the hour, so I'm going to take a quick little break, get up and move around, and I will be right back. Alright. Well, so the mouse situation. So, take my break, I go outside so I can talk to Chuck, maybe have a cigarette, whatever. Sit down outside, and we're on the ground floor, so we get wildlife every so often. We do have a cat. His name is Leo. He's very fat, he's very stupid, he's very, very sweet and gentle. In years past, he has gone after mice, and usually he kills the mouse. Like, he'll just, like, bite it and break its neck or whatever cats do. He doesn't get, like, all gory and, like, rip it apart or anything like that, so. But anyway, since spring has come around, we've had a field mouse living underneath the concrete that is basically our patio. And very much to the delight of Leo. And so he finally caught it, and he was running around with it all proud and whatever. But he didn't kill it. So he sets it down, and the mouse immediately runs into our door, our sliding glass door, and runs into the track. He's still on the outside, but he's inside the door track. So I'm like, well, I don't want to open up the screen door and then risk the mouse running in as I go inside. So I grab a stick and I kind of fish the mouse out a little bit. Mouse immediately panics, runs out of the door crack, or the door track, and no fucking clue, but he goes immediately for the screen door. Noses his way into the screen, gets into our apartment, and then takes a hard, like, left where we keep kind of our shoes and stuff, and then runs right into underneath one of our huge china huts. Like, that thing's not moving. And we tore apart that whole wall, moved the couch, moved everything, got our little, like, pokey sticks out to poke underneath furniture and the heater register and everything. Could not find this mouse. Still can't find this mouse. So now we have a mouse in our apartment that I'm hoping Leo kills and doesn't just play with. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go find, like, really expensive, like, pet-friendly mouse traps, or, like, really inhumane, like, sticky traps or something. Like, I just want to get, like, an enclosed mouse trap box that has something quick and lethal in it that Leo can't get into. So, now we got that problem. We have no idea even if it's on that, in the living room where the screen door is, if he just hung out in there, or if he just, like, hightailed it, like, down the hall and into our bedroom or something. So, yay. Anywho. No, I don't want a new roommate. He's not going to pay rent. He's just going to freeload and shit everywhere. I already have a furry freeloader that shits everywhere. I don't want another one. Anywho. Let's get on with it. Let's go with our stall dream team here. Oh, God, I am, like, profusely sweating because it was just, like, immediate, like, Oh, panic mode. Get this mouse out. Now I'm worried because I know, like, once upon a time, I lived in Montana, and I do know that there is a certain respiratory disease, I think it's a respiratory disease, that's transmitted from the feces of mice. I don't know if that's really a thing out here, or if that's something we have to worry about in North Dakota, but I'll have to look it up. Anyway, so we've got a Roaring Moon, Dragapult, Scizor, Armarouge, Grimmsnarl, and Tyranitar. So, screen nonsense, maybe Trick Room with Armarouge. I'm kind of not sure what Armarouge is doing on this team. And some Sandstorm shenanigans, which actually kind of benefits our team because almost every single one of our Pokemon will benefit from a Sandstorm, except for like Iron Hands and Wo-Chien. But let's go ahead. Let's go in with Screamtail, Wo-Chien. Well, no, yeah, let's go with Wo-Chien. Tinglu in the back. Now, let's do this. I think this is probably going to be much better. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, if anybody has any good, like, pet-safe mousetraps to recommend, please let me know. No poisons, please, and no sticky traps if it can be helped. Scizor and Roaring Moon come out. So, Wo-Chien, very good choice here since it lowers their attack. Booster energy is Roaring Moon's speed. Okay. Maybe Mortal Spin isn't a great attack here because we can't poison Scizor. So let's go for a Spiky Shield. See how that does. And I'm actually gonna go for a. I'm gonna actually Terra Wo-Chien here, and we're gonna go for a Leech Seed onto Roaring Moon. And the only reason I'm going Terra here on Wo-Chien is I really want to get rid of our flying weakness because I really don't want to take an Acrobatics to the face from Roaring Moon for super effective. So at least in this way, we will take neutral damage. Roaring Moon sets up Tailwind. Okay, interesting. Sword's Dance. I already don't like this just because Stall really does not do well with Pokemon that can set themselves up really, really well. So, already not super duper liking this. Let's go for an Earth Power onto Scizor. And we are going to go for... Do I want to set up another Protect? Or another Leech Seed, I should say. I'm gonna set up another Leech Seed on Scizor. Punch comes out. That was a god-awful amount of damage. We go down to Sash. At least we get Spike set up, so that's nice. Jaw Lock. Okay. Interesting. Well, I don't think he really set himself up for success here, to corporate speak. Because we're just going to heal all of that damage back from Leech Seed. And we do have Big Root on, which increases the amount of healing that we do, but doesn't increase the amount of damage that we do with Leech Seed. So, I'm going to go for a Spiky Shield here on Glamora, and we are going to go for a... let's go for a Protect. Why not? We have no reason not to stall here. This also eats up a turn of their Tailwind. Okay, Jawlock comes out. Okay. I kind of figured he would go for the Jawlock onto Glamora if that's his only method of damage. But they're real intent on this Wo-Chien. But at least with the Leech Seed out too, it really does punish their setup. Glamora really can't do anything here. There's absolutely no way that I'm outspeeding. I'm just going to go for a second Spiky Shield and just hope we get it. Let's go for a... I kind of don't want to do the knockoff on Scissor if he's Choice Banded. But let's do it anyway. We do get the second Spiky Shield. Excellent. Okay, Bullet Punch goes out. Wo-Chien really eats that up. Wow, that was kind of surprising. Does that do damage back? It does. Okay, Wo-Chien's attack falls. That's not great, but, I mean, and it had a Leechy there. We're just gonna get more of that nummy health. Let's see what he sends out next. I kind of feel like that was... Well, he didn't Terra, so maybe that wasn't really the star. He sends out Dragapult. There's definitely no way that we're going to get a third Spiky Shield off. So we're just going to go for a Power Gem into Roaring Moon. And we're going to set up another Leech Seed onto Dragapult. Nice thing, though, is that Dragapult got poisoned. But Glamora goes down. That's okay. His next switch in is gonna take Toxic Spikes. That's good. Wo-Chien just doing the thing where it just stays in for 5 ever. Did we get the Leech Seed off? I didn't see the animation go off. Or is it holding a... I don't... Wait, does Goggles protect from Leech Seed? I don't think it does. No, we didn't get the Leech Seed. Huh. I'll have to look back at the stream and see what happened there. I wasn't paying close enough attention. I am distracted. I'm going to go for a Fake Out into Roaring Moon, because we really have no other choice. And I am going to go... I'm going to go for a Protect, because I don't like the fact that we got that special defense drop. And I just want Wo-Chien to stick around as long as possible. Almost a kill on Roaring Moon. Okay, Draco Meteor comes out, goes right into our Protect, so that's fine. Roaring Moon goes down this turn though to Leech Seed, at least we get a little bit of healing back. Dragapult is just, like, disgustingly fast, so there's absolutely no way we're going to outspeed. Even if we had Tailwind set up, I don't think we would outspeed. But I think this Iron Hands, the specific Iron Hands, has minimal speed. If I remember correctly, I think he might actually have 0 speed. Can't remember 100% if I got a 0 speed shiny Iron Hands. Grimmsnarl comes out and takes Toxic, so good for us. We are going to go... I'm actually going to Protect here and just waste turns. And we're going to go for a Leech Seed onto Grimmsnarl. Wo-Chien's probably kind of exhausted here, so it probably won't stick around. Okay, he went for a breakout. This might knock out. Oh, it doesn't. Cool. Wo-Chien sticks around. We get Leech Seeds. Cool. Alright. So we can just go for a Protect next turn and just waste more time. Okay, Grimmsnarl is going to take its poison damage. I'm going to go for the safer option. I'm going to go for a Drain Punch onto Grimmsnarl. And we are going to go for a Protect on Wo-Chien. I can't imagine this is a very fun team for our opponent, but it's mildly entertaining to me, but it is kind of disgusting. That's no fun. Oh, special attack. Never mind. For whatever reason, I forgot Spear Prick was special, not physical. So we get that a little bit of health back. We don't get all of it back though. Our leftovers coming in for more healing. This team is nasty. I already hate this team. I hate this team for our opponent. Alright. Well, let's go for the Wild Charge. Let's just end this. And we are going to go for a Giga Drain onto Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl goes for a Reflect. Draco Meteor comes out. Wo-Chien lives. Barely. Ugh, I would be salty too, man. I would be super salty. Oh, that sucked. That super sucked. Wait, was this actually my disconnect? Because that would suck. No, it wasn't my disconnect. All right. Wow. That was really gross. That he started off really well. There's not really like a good way to like shut down a stall team, but because they operate so slowly and they basically allow you to just do whatever you want during that time except for do damage, you can set up forever. And I don't know why that I thought that Scissor was banded, because I saw him Swords Dance and then immediately Bullet Punch, so I don't know why I thought that. But he could have just Swords Danced like a couple of more times and just ripped through my team. But he didn't. Alright, Sun team. We see Annihilate, Bellabolt, Talonflame, Torkoal, Ceruledge, and Mousehold. So we can see some Mousehold, Annihilate shenanigans. Annihilate could also just do Final Gambit shenanigans. Bellybolt is interesting. I know what to expect from it, but it always does well. It never does poorly on a team, I've noticed. But I wonder if he's not going to bring it just because we have so much bulk and Tinglu. And then, of course, we have our Sunsetter and Bird and Stabitha. So let's go in with Glamora. Just because of all the fire threats that they have, even as a poison type, I don't want to go into Wo-Chien and Terra poison right away because I could just eat a earth power from Torkoal. But we are going to go into Tinglu. We're going to bring Iron Hands in the back, and I'm going to bring in our Salt Crystal in the back. His team would have been a little bit more scary had he had a Fungus. Or a Mungus, not Fungus. An Amoongus kind of would have forced me to bring Wo-Chien, which I'm glad he did not have. Mouse Hold Torkoal. Okay. So I wonder if Torkoal's just going to stay in for the first turn and he's going to swap it out for Annihilate, and Mousehold is going to go for like beat up shenanigans or something. I'm actually... You know what? We're going to go for Immortal Spin, I think. And then Spiky Shield afterwards. Actually, no. I'm going to go for a Spiky Shield now. And we are going to... is there anything that he can really threaten me with Torkoal? Not that I know of. So we're actually going to go for a Ruination into Torkoal and just really chunk it down. I don't think a Stone Edge would be enough to take Torkoal down in one hit, so a Ruination will really hamper it, taking it down to half health. King Lu just eating up the Population Bomb. It's still doing a very appreciable amount of damage just because of how heavy Population Bomb hits. Or not heavy, but how often it hits. It always hits 10 times, like, with loaded dice. Actually, I think it's capped at like 8 to 10 with loaded dice. Just like other moves are like, I think they're 4 to 5. 4 minimum. Alright, we are going to go for an Earth Power into Torkoal. Well, do I want to go for an Earth Power and knock out... Well... Yeah, I'm going to go for an Earth Power into Torkoal. And we are going to... doesn't really have a good answer here. We're going to go for a Stone Edge. Just for damage, but, well, never mind. Mousehold is just going to Population Bomb and Tinglu, I'm sure. Yeah. Tinglu goes down. That's unfortunate. We probably would have been able to stay in, but basically what Population Bomb equates to with a loaded dice is a base 200 base physical move. Honestly, its only drawback is that it hits multiple times. So it makes contact multiple times, proccing things like Spiky Shield or Rocky Helmet, which really isn't a great trade-off. Like, it's not really like a great sacrifice that Mousehold has to make. Population Bomb is just too good of a move, I think, and I really don't want to see it for very long. I'm actually going to go into Garganacl here. And did we not get the Earth Power from Glamora? We're going for Immortal Spin. I don't care. And I'm going to go for a Salt Cure into Mousehold. like, again, this team doesn't really excel at, like, dealing a heavy amount of damage. So being able to do as much residual damage as soon as possible is really what this team needs to do. But okay, Population Bomb comes out. That was a crit. Wow, okay, so Garganacl is gonna do probably okay. Another crit. Okay. Whole 10 times. So we get the poison off at least, and we're gonna get the salt cure damage. So now we just gotta kind of slow down. But Garganacl goes down. Okay. So we've just got Iron Hands left. Yuck. What I think I should probably do is go for the Fake Out onto Mousehold. Just to flinch it and get more residuals damage done to it. But that Torkoal is kind of a threat. We are absolutely going to Earth Power it. I don't know why that didn't work the first time. Don't know what I did. I wasn't paying very good attention. But again, Fake Out into Mousehold. And then I think next turn what we'll do is we'll Terra Iron Hands and go for Drain Punches and stuff. Okay, Torkoal goes down. Finally. So we did have a turn go... one turn finally go our way. This is like, what, 5 turns in? Mousehold also goes down. He is ignoring Glamora, which is kind of annoying, so we're not getting spikes. But, I mean, smart on his behalf because, yeah, now Glamora's ability is basically useless because he has no more switch-ins. So setting spikes does absolutely nothing here. But, you know, whatever. I am going to go for... He can't Terra, though. So that is good to know. I'm gonna go for a Spiky Shield just to do stuff. And I'm gonna protect here actually because I'm interested to see what he does. I wonder if he's gonna Final Gambit with Annihilate. Kind of what I would do if I was in his position. Close combat. Okay, that's gonna hurt him. And then Solar Blade from Ceruledge. Pretty sure. With how long the sunlight's lasted, I'm pretty sure that was a Heat Rock on Torkoal. Wait, did the sun end? Did I just miss the prompt, or am I just blind? Lord? Okay, I think Power Gem's probably gonna do more damage to Ceruledge, and then we are going to... Well, Terra really doesn't do anything for us here. Actually, I'm gonna Terra with Glamora, and we're gonna Power Gem into Ceruledge, and we're gonna Wild Charge into Annihilate. Because we really don't get any benefit from putting a Terra, Fighting Terra on Iron Hands, so this is probably one of the rare instances that I'm going to Terra Glamora. Okay, Iron Hands eats that really well. Okay, Solar Blade has to charge because there's no more sunlight, unless he's got, oh, he doesn't have the insta-charge item. And Ceruledge is sashed, which, whatever. Wild Charge comes out, there's no way he's winning. Yeah, not with a defense drop. Alright, well, I think we did well. We're going to Spiky Shield, and we are going to... well, he's locked into Solar Blade, so it doesn't really matter what we do. Nada on Iron Hands. Iron Hands, again, he doesn't have to pick between being defensive or offensive. He just is both. And from, like, balance perspective, I hate that. I like Pokemon that, like, if they're defensive, you know they're not going to do damage. If they're doing damage, you know they're going to take damage. Iron Hands just doesn't do that. Tinglu's kind of in that same vein, but he's kind of in that same vein. Really, his like really gross shtick is running Fissure and Stomping Tantrum. But we're gonna continue. The mouse capades from earlier really ate up a lot of our time, unfortunately. On weekdays, or at least on my Wednesday streams, I don't really stream longer than about 2 hours. And we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here shortly. I do enjoy this team. I think I kind of found a good groove of doing damage over time and staying alive, where I don't have to just deal brute force. And I think that was one of the drawbacks of the previous stall team that I ran. I don't remember who I got that from, but you'd have to look back in my stream history to find that team. And that it really suffered from not having enough damage. But I think it also suffered from just not having, other than Salt Cure, it suffered from not having a good amount of damage over time. At least with this team, we have Glamora for poison. We have Garganackle for Salt Cure. We have Wo-Chien for Leech Seed. So we do have access to a lot of residual damage, and because of our massive amount of bulk and just number of protects that we have on the team, we can stall out pretty much anything. All right. Ooh. Dozogiri. We haven't seen that in a while. Palafin, Arcanine. This is basically just a balanced team with just Grimmsnarl on it. So, all right. Probably going to do... Well, he could start with a lot of things. He could start Grimmsnarl, Dozo, and then swap in Tatsugiri once he sets up screens. He could start Dozo Palafin, but I don't think he's going to want to bring too many of his water types with Iron Hands and Wo-Chien being on my team. But we'll see, I guess. We're going to lead in with... Glamora here. And then I think Wo-Chien, just based on how much they really do not want to deal with a grass type. We're going to bring Iron Hands, and I don't want to bring Tinglu, actually. I want to bring Garganackle. This team is really anti-water. I've got Garganackle, I've got Wo-Chien, I've got Iron Hands. It's not a great team for water types. So I'll be interested to see what he starts with. Grimmsnarl, Geary. Okay. Maybe an Icy Wind from Tatsugiri. Certainly no, he's not going to switch right away with Grimmsnarl out, so he's probably going to set up screens. Absolutely going to set up screens. Not going to go for a Spiky Shield because, like I said, I'm expecting screens from Grimmsnarl, and I'm expecting an Icy Wind from Tatsugiri. So let's go in for a Mortal Spin, and we are going to go for a Leech Seed. I actually don't want to Leech Seed Tatsugiri. I'm going to Leech Seed Grimmsnarl. Okay, Geary went for a Endure. When he went for Endure, I had like a very quick flashback to Wolf Glick running that on Tatsugiri with a Toxic Orb, and basically killing his Tatsugiri second turn so that he could get it to jump into Dondozo, give Dondozo the benefit, and then get rid of the Tatsugiri, and Dozo benefits entirely from it, and then he gets another switch in, and he actually switched in Flamigo, which then copied Dozo's stat changes, and he was just like, everything is monstrous, and that was kind of a wild time. Gonna go, well, Clamora kind of needs to stay in. Actually gonna go for a Power Gem into Grimmsnarl, I think. And we are going to go for a knockoff onto Tatsugiri. So he does exactly what I think he was going to do. He sets up screens and just does his thing. Lamar goes down to Sash. That's fine. At least we get spikes out. A good amount of damage for having screens out. Okay, he was wearing a Toxic Orb, so it might have been the Wolf Glick, gimmick. Interesting, okay. But I think he's low enough that we can... I'm going to go for a Spiky Shield on Glamora, just to keep it around for a while and keep it more annoying. And we are going to go for... I'm going to go for Giga Drain onto Geary. Well, he's probably going to switch into Dondozo, like, immediately, so maybe that's not the best. Do I go for a Leech Seed onto the Grimmsnarl spot? Do I? I'm going to do it, predicting that he's going to switch. Okay, here he goes for Protect, so he doesn't switch. Okay, Spirit comes out. Grimmsnarl immediately kills himself on our Spiky Shield, but we're gonna see Dozo. Guarantee it. Yep. Okay. So, it's not quite what Wolf set up originally, but he has a huge upper hand here. With Tatsugiri being poisoned, Tatsugiri will eventually faint inside Dondozo. Meaning that his other slot, his left-hand slot, opens up, and he can send out his other Pokemon in that slot, leaving Dondozo with all of the benefits of having Tatsugiri, but none of the drawbacks. So, let's go ahead and... I'm just going to go for a Mortal Spin into Dozo. Well, yeah. Dozo came out and didn't get poisoned. What was that about? I wasn't paying attention again. And we're going to actually go for a Terra Poison here, and we are going... Well, no, I'm not going to poison Terra yet. But we are going to leech seed Dozo. Okay, order up. Limora goes down, which, honestly, saw happening. Okay. Defense rose. Really okay with what we've got going on. We really don't care about defense boosts. Because none of like the good amount of damage that we're gonna do really hits defense or special defense. We do damage straight to the HP. But we'll see. Garganackle comes in. I am gonna Terra Ghost here to get rid of our water weakness. And we are going to go for Salt Cure onto Dozo. And we are going to go for a Giga Drain. I want Dozo gone before Tatsugiri dies. And that's why I did not put Leech Seed on it. Because I don't want to kill it faster than it needs to die. So he goes Terra Ground, which is actually kind of okay. Reason being is, well, Salt Cure's not going to get its damage bonus, which is fine. But our Giga Drain is still going to get super effective. Yeah. But also, too, is that we lose our ground weakness, so it's going to hit us for neutral damage instead of super effective. It's still going to hurt us. Okay, wow, that did not hurt at all. Never mind. That was a complete and total non-issue. So, comes out. No damage on Dozo. That's fine. I'm really gonna have to look back at this stream and really figure out like some of the weirdness that we've seen, like last battle with some of the turns just like not going the way I wanted them to, and like this battle, and why Dozo is not poisoned. Like, did he have a Lumberry and I just wasn't paying attention? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go for a recover on Garganackle because I can, and we are gonna go for a knockoff. Well, do we want to go for a knockoff, or do we want to, yeah, I'm gonna go for a knockoff. Because if he's wearing, what's it called? Assault Vest. I want to get rid of that. Oh, leftovers. I should have been paying attention. I would have done that at the end of last turn. Whatever. I've got a mouse in my apartment. I have more important things on my brain than Pokemon. But again, I'm actually really, really enjoying this team now that I think I got a better handle on Stall. But Geary goes down, which is unfortunate because now he can swap in whatever he wants with all of the benefits to Dozo and none of the drawbacks. So Amoonguss comes out. I'm so glad we did not Terra Wo-Chien. So that's good for us. We are going to go for Salt Cure onto Amoonguss, though. And we can't Leech Seed Amoonguss, which, whatever. But we can go for a knockoff. Because he can't Spore Wo-Chien. Okay. Black Sludge. Cool. So we don't have to worry about his nonsense. Okay, Pollen Puff comes out. Ooh. Wait, what? Oh, maybe he tried to heal himself, but didn't realize that Pollen Puff doesn't go through Protect, even when you target yourself. That's frustrating. Actually, I don't think, well, gonna be honest, I did not know that. If you target yourself, that Pollen Puff is blocked by Protect. But you'd think that it would allow it to go through, but I guess technically it's first a hostile move, and then secondarily a healing move. But we're gonna go for Protect, and really can't do anything with Wo-Chien, to be honest. So we are actually gonna go out for Iron Hands. We're gonna do some fake out shenanigans. Oh, battle was canceled. Never mind. I kind of figured he would just spore everybody to sleep and just be a nuisance. But anywho, I really wish that we had more time to use this team. I actually really do like this. This is absolutely probably one of our most successful teams so far, even though we only got to use it 3 times. But I actually enjoyed using it, and it really is in my wheelhouse to use bulky, slow, kind of stally, kind of frustrating teams to fight against, and just kind of you know, uproot the meta of just fast early damage, just steamroll as soon as you can, go as fast and hard as you can, and this team really just shuts that down. Like it's a big old speed bump. But anyway, Friday, I don't have any plans for any other teams. I might build a team based on that Mousehold the Dunsparce team that we saw last week. I think that was just really gross, and I really want to do that with my 3-segment shiny marked the Dunsparce. So I kind of want to do that, but I'm kind of the perfectionist in that I really want to get the family of 3 Mousehold before I build that. But I do have a Mousehold that is family of 4 somewhere that I could quickly slap together and call it good. Where is that Mousehold? There it is. So I could quickly slap that together on this one, and call it a day. So, you know, not a terrible decision. Yeah, I think I might do that. I'm still gonna hunt. A little bit tonight before I go to bed. Probably eat 1 or 2 sandwiches, and then probably, you know, in any free time that I get tomorrow, gonna do some hunting. And if I don't, then we're just gonna bring the family of 4 to Friday. So that's the plan. I will have to build 4 other team members for that setup. So I'll have to figure that out. But I think next Friday we're gonna bring our dot install team. I liked it. It did good. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry about the super long ass break in the middle, but really, I'm the one who suffered here. I have to live with a mouse. I'm just hoping that my cat will kill it. He's so sweet. He's so gentle that he just wants to play and make friends with everything. And I think the times that he did kill mice were completely accidental. I don't think he intended got that killer instinct and he just wanted to kill something. I think he was just like friend and just hugged the friend too hard with his mouth. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.